Hi, my name is Jeff Lara, co-founder of Start, Grow, Manage, and I want to talk to you about what Start, Grow, Manage is and just introduce you to the concept so that you can see what it is we're trying to build. And, essentially the idea of Start, Grow, Manage starts with an idea of mindset and the idea that, building a business, constructing a business, growing a business is a question of mindset, education, growth, and change. And I like this quote: the Stone Age didn't end because of a shortage of stones, right? It was because we decided to move on, because human beings decided that there was something else. So when we want to create something, we want to create a better business, a bigger business, a business that is more aligned with our values, with what we want. It's a question of aligning our mindset and gathering the skills to allow us to do that, not just waiting for the stones to run out so that we move on to the next stage. And the interesting thing is, when we start a business, there's usually this moment where we're just sort of tired of it, right? A lot of people start businesses because they're tired of being an employee. They're tired of the corporate culture, or for one reason or other, they end up leaving the corporate culture. And that's the first mindset shift, where you move from employee to self-employed. And this first mindset shift is really critical, and it's driven by external frustration. You are frustrated, or the person is frustrated in their job and what they do in their daily life, and that pushes them to make that move. And they transform themselves from an employee to somebody who is self-employed. And they have a vision for what they want to create. So when you started your business, you may share that vision, that idea around, I have an idea and I'm going to go build this, and I'm going to go create something, and I'm going to make a business out of it. You've got this dream. Once you get started, you have some success of where you're going to go with this, and you're going to celebrate it and be happy with it. And then the reality kicks in. And the reality is that without the next shift, without the next way of thinking, you end up in this roller coaster that just takes all of your time and doesn't deliver the results that you would want it to deliver. And I'll give you an example. This is Steve Wozniak's very first product. And it was basically a product to get around long-distance phone calls with the phone company. And if you think about this is an interesting product, but it has a really limited shelf life. And it wasn't until Wozniak and Steve Jobs came together and decided, look, we could create something bigger with this. We could do something more. We could create a business out of this, that Apple was born. And that drove them to develop Apple computers, drove them to develop the business that we know as Apple today. And so one way to think about this is that, at the very beginning, you're idea focused, and then you have to move into a growth stage where you move beyond that initial product, that initial fit of entrepreneurial energy, and you move towards one of actually growing a business machine where you get out of that one product into multiple products, into many products, where you create the teams to deliver. And this is all about creating repeatable models, repeatable ways of doing business that equate to a machine. It's a way of working together so that all of the pieces mesh, and you grow and you create and you develop a business, not just a job. And this is a mindset shift that leads you away from self-employed into the realm of entrepreneurs. But the truth is that people normally don't do this. They normally don't create a machine. So let me explain to you why. So all work in business you can divide into either delivery or overhead. You're either doing the work or you're doing something to get ready to do the work. You're selling it, right? Or you're doing it. You're selling it, you're doing it. You're preparing it, you're doing it. And most solutions are geared towards helping us deliver and deliver our overhead more quickly with more productivity. And we get stuck in this productivity spiral that we call the entrepreneurial spin cycle. And the problem with it is you go up, you sell a few things, then you get into delivering, and then delivery you can't be selling, so then it drops off and you come back the other way, and then you start delivering again, and then you stop delivering and start selling or start doing your overhead, and everything is sort of geared towards making this spin cycle work better, work more efficiently, work more productively. But the problem is, as long as you are stuck in the spin cycle, you are not building a business machine. You're not building something that is repeatable. So the concept is to build this machine where you take the work, and instead of the work being done more quickly, more efficiently, you remove work and you delegate some of that work to the machine. You create a machine that's doing the work. And that ultimately reduces the amount of time that you have to dedicate to delivering and to overhead. The amount of delivery and overhead work diminishes as a percentage of total because the machine is doing it. And you actually have space to start thinking about the future and start planning and start redesigning and start changing and start disassembling your machine so that you can make something new and different. And we call this final phase the phase of management. So you start with an idea, you grow by building a machine, and then you manage the machine, improving, creating, and growing your business. And each one of these is a distinct phase with a distinct mindset shift. So that in the beginning, you're self-focused as an employee, dependent employee. You have a first mindset shift where you become self-employed. And then you have the second mindset shift where you realize that self-employment is too much work for too little reward. So you push towards building a machine, creating a sustainable business. And then once you have that machine built, you move into more of an investment focus or conditions focused, where you're actually looking at the machine and trying to figure out, where am I going to steer it? Where am I going to go? Do I need to create new machines? Do I need to create new things? And that's what we're about at Start, Grow, Manage, is helping you move through these three shifts with accountability, with a team and support, and with tools, education, and training, so that you aren't reinventing the wheel and you can move through these shifts quickly and with confidence. And you end up, with that dream that we were talking about. You can act different phases of creating the business machine and working towards the future. And that's what we're about at Start, Grow, Manage. Enabling you to achieve that dream, that vision, that thing that you want to create, with the tools, with the support, with the structure that are going to allow you to get there.